Howdy y'all, welcome to Nerd Studio. We're out at the range today to test fire and prep my new CZ P10c for daily carry. Stay tuned. If you watched the first video I did on the P10c, you know that gun was a loaner from my buddy Ricky. Ricky, thanks for bringing that gun out. He's got about 500 rounds through it already. I'm responsible for a fair number of those on that day, and on the 4th of July, I shot it some more. And if you watch that video, you know I liked it so much, I literally tossed my Glock aside and hollered out to Alex Rock City Guns, said, I want one, and had him put me on the list. Now, I got mine in black. These guns are a little hard to acquire right now because they're in demand. But I want to dedicate this video to all you folks out there that kept calling me a Glock fanboy. I tried to say, if I ever found something that shot better than my Glocks, I would buy it. And here it is. I actually shoot this better. Now, I shoot it better than a Glock. I'm not saying you're going to shoot it better than a Glock. I'm just saying I do. And my motto is, you carry what you shoot best. I don't care how it feels in your hand, although this actually does feel quite good in my hand. You want to shoot and carry what you shoot the most accurately, because you know, speed is wonderful, but accuracy wins. So anyway, what we're going to do today, we're going to test fire it some, make sure that this particular instance, for you nerds out there, this particular instance, the P10c, runs the ammo, works correctly. I did spend some time cleaning it up, and we'll go through that here in a second. And we'll run a couple of rounds of polycase through it just to make sure that we cycle my carry ammo, and then it becomes my new carry gun. So first things first, I broke the gun down to get the factory gunk out. I know Ricky's been shooting his with the factory gunk inside just to see what the lifespan of their gunk is. Gunk, I don't know, oil I guess. The gun breaks down very similarly to the Glock. Internally, a couple of things are very different though. The trigger operation is completely different from what I can tell. I'm not a gunsmith by any means, so I'm not going to attempt to explain how this one operates. But I was able to see where the parts come together and get some TW25B in those spots to kind of smooth things out. That's something I do on all my, well, in fact, all my guns, including my ARs, where the metal parts come together in the trigger mechanisms. I like to get a little bit of lube on there. So normally on a Glock, I would just put the TW25B up here, where the sear is. You actually have parts coming together down, I know it's kind of hard to see even on the camera, down here. That look like it benefits from some lube. So we'll see. We'll have to take this and let Glenn really look at the internals. I'm not a gunsmith. And see what he thinks. The other big difference is the striker assembly. If there's one concern I have with this gun, it's how delicate the springs are in the striker assembly. I'll try and get hopefully we've got a good look at that here. Time's going to tell, really, if this operating system is going to hold up to abuse. I'm not quite sure, but we're going to see. It took me a little bit to figure out how to pull the striker out and put it back in, but it's easy enough to do. It does. It's a very different striker system than the Glock. I was kind of surprised though to see quite a bit of oil from the factory on the striker. I looked in the manual, and it doesn't really say a lot about what the maintenance requirements are of this gun. Normally you look in these manuals and it tells you oil it here and oil it there and oil it there, and don't put any oil here. The CZ manual didn't talk a lot about that. I'm going to assume, since they had oil in the striker assembly, that they're not terribly concerned or intend to have oil in there, but that would be a first for any striker fired gun I've seen. I basically just kind of cleaned it out and left it as is. I didn't try and add anything to it, but I didn't shy away if some of the lube I was using got down inside the striker assembly, because it didn't seem to be bothering CZ. If you watch the channel, you know my buddy Glenn. Glenn is a gunsmith. He's the gunsmith at Rock City Guns, and actually does this professionally. So sometime in the near future here, I'll see if I can get some time with Glenn, have him poke through the CZ and see what he makes of the parts inside, and we'll get a real professional opinion on I don't know, what he thinks of the operating system, I guess. Along with the P10c, I picked up the latest ARX release from Polycase. If you watch the channel, you know this is my preferred carry ammo for a lot of reasons. Got a lot of videos on this ammunition. I encourage you to go back and watch it. This one in particular is only 65 grains, moves at 1,540 feet per second, and they calculate that out at 342 foot-pounds of energy. Big Polycase fan. This is just their latest formulation of it. It does look slightly different than what I've been carrying, so we'll fire a few rounds out of the P10c just to make sure it cycles and functions correctly. All right, enough yapping. Let's shoot this thing. Something I learned from one of my buddies, Adam, about the P10c and the way this is designed. People talk about, and I actually commented in the last video about the slide release not being a slide release. Yes and no. One of you viewers did point out that there is a part in the manual where it does refer to it and tell you how to operate it as a slide release. Turns out, here's the correct scoop. It doesn't operate with an empty mag in there, but if you hold a little pressure on the slide release, I'm going to call it a slide release because apparently it is, when you put the magazine in, it sends it home. So that actually saves you a step when you're doing a reload from having to actually rack the slide. All right, let's shoot it some more. I gotta flip the camera around and show you that. Yeah, folks, that's shooting nice. Yeah. I'm pretty giddy. All right. I'm used to night sights. There aren't any out for this gun yet, so sight acquisition I'm gonna have to learn how to do it with this gun. The Polycase ARX, shooting a little left. So the 124 grain hits dead on. That Polycase, it's shooting left. Huh. I may have to move to 124 grain carry ammo. I'll get you a look at the target. It's on the the lower part of the target there. The left and the right was both my old Polycase and the new Polycase. My 124 grain hand loads, that's in the center there, and it's not precision hand loading, it's just going through my Dillon press. So So I put some more of my range ammo, my hand loads back in just to see if maybe it was fatigue, and shot in the upper left corner. It really seems like it doesn't like the Polycase ammo. Okay, we learned a couple of cool things. First of all, my version of this gun shoots fantastically. Feels great. I love the trigger in this gun. I shoot it better than the Glock, and that's all I could ask for. Well, man, it's cheaper. You gotta like that too. I think the other thing I learned is my preferred carry ammo, the Polycase ARX, is probably too light for this gun. I could move the sights to the right and pull the Polycase to the right, and that would be fine. However, these guns are designed around the 124 grain NATO round. That's typical for these 9mm handguns. They tend to favor that 124 grain NATO round. That's also where my target ammo is sort of targeted design. And if I move the sights to the right to accommodate the ARX, I will then shift the point of impact of my target ammo, and you know, that's all of my practice is done with that ammo. So I think I like where it's hitting with my target ammo. They're incredible groups at, you know, at gunfight distances. I'm not going to adjust the sights to accommodate a lighter ammo. Instead, I'll go out and start probably pick a couple of boxes of 124 grain self-defense ammo. Probably start with the HSTs and figure out what it shoots accurately. There's nothing wrong with those hollow point rounds. I'm just slightly more impressed with how the Polycase performs, but that's probably off by a half an inch or so at 7 yards. If I had to take a shot at 25, it would be way off. So I don't want to, I can't, you know, I can't pick a gun around the ammo. I got to find the right ammo for the gun, right? So that's kind of depressing. I think, you know, considering that most gunfights occur within 7 yards and usually less, that I'm not worried that about carrying the poly case today. I think I can start carrying the gun with the poly case ammo in it. It's fine. But ultimately, I want to find something that is the sweet spot for this pistol. I keep looking at the target because it, you know, where my target ammo is hitting it makes me pretty happy. What else? Long term, we're going to have to see how the parts wear in this. So one of the things the Glock is known for is just pure and simple reliability. You know, we don't know a whole lot about the P10c for its service record yet. We probably won't know a lot for several years. I intend to keep the gun clean and to ensure, you know, proper function for concealed carry, and then we'll watch over time and really see what the market bears out as far as its long-term reliability, and see how the parts wear. See if we, you know, a lot of times new designs come up and they get recalls, like those kind of things. We'll keep an eye on that, do more videos. I am going to let Glenn take a look on the inside of this gun, and when he gets a chance, real busy guy, and see if he has any recommendations about lubrication points, any concerns about the parts that he can see. He knows a lot more about that stuff than I do, and it'll be interesting to get his feedback. I'll probably do about a month or so, do a third video, sort of give impressions about where I am. At that point, I'll probably have 1,000 rounds through the gun, typically, in a month, and we'll have a little better idea what upkeep and any, you know, malfunctions, reliability issues I see within that time, and I'll figure out what carry ammo I'm going to use and report back on that. All right, folks, this EZ P10c, I'm not just wild because it's a new toy. It really does, in my hands, shoot better than any gun I've held. All right, folks, always remember, anyone could shoot and have fun. We'll see you next time.